Hello again, friends, and welcome to another fine edition of 151. My name is Adam, and I'm joined by a man who likes his wood wet except for his wood floor. Ladies and gentlemen, his name is Justin.
Hey, how's it going? You know my name.
I kind of hit real close to life there, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Anyways, this is 151 The Show. You can find us on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and a million other channels. Please like, follow, share, subscribe, do all that cool stuff for us. We would appreciate it. Excuse me. And don't forget to find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, all at 151 The Show. Sorry, I've been dealing with allergies this week. 2 days ago, had zero voice.
You got the Rona.
Who knows?
I realize I should have phrased that as a question. You got the Rona instead of you got the Rona.
Yeah. So anyways, this is 151 The Show. We're glad that you joined us tonight as we get one more in for the month. It's kind of going to be an all-over show because we took like 5 minutes to prep this tonight.
Well, you don't have to share all of our secrets.
You know, but I'm a very behind-the-scenes guy. I like the behind-the-scenes talk. I think that stuff is interesting for some of this. But no, we're going to talk about some TV shows tonight. We're going to talk about the Snyder Cut. We have to hit the canal. You know what?
And if you're watching this some other time other than when it's being released, hopefully you remember back in 2021 when that big ship lodged itself in the Suez Canal. We're there right now.
All right. So for those of you playing along at home, you've probably heard this story already. It's at this point, it's 6 days old. But long story short, a big cruise ship has essentially shut down world trade because it got lodged sideways in the Suez Canal. And the funniest meme, I've seen two great memes on this so far. One, it's the one guy in the excavator, and it's like me trying to dig out of my problems.
Right.
You know, and then the other one was, you know, usually no matter how bad you screw up, at least it's not I can see it from space up.
Right. My favorite one was watching or seeing the picture of all the shipping routes now and partying like it's 1793 with ships going around the Cape of Good Hope. With Africa again because they have no other choice.
You know, the pirates down there are just like, this is the greatest day ever.
Oh yeah. Well, they tell me, or like I was reading, like some of those big ships, by the time they get done with all the tolls in the Suez Canal, it's like 2 million euros or something.
Yeah.
That the Suez Canal brings in like 400 million euros a day. And they can't put some friggin' bumper strips along the side of that so nobody would lodges sideways.
So did you hear how it happened? Or I saw one video of how they think it happened. And
the last I heard, they were blaming like high winds for blowing them off course or something. I'm assuming somebody was drunk at the wheel.
It was high winds, and apparently they were speeding because they were trying to turn into the wind, you know, or something, whatever the proper term is. But they
tacking, I think, with a sail.
With a cruise ship, I don't know. But basically, they were going. The speed limit in the canal is 8 knots. They were going 13 because of the high winds to try and be able to turn into them, so that they wouldn't be veered off, and then it's just all hell broke loose.
Right.
And they blocked.
So I have to assume, with COVID being what it is, that it was probably a drunken Carnival cruise ship captain who was moonlighting since the cruises are shut down and was piloting this thing.
What's funny about this, it's kind of one of those things where you automatically, when something like this happens anymore, you automatically go to, it had to be a drunk captain. It had to be someone that was bad at their job.
Yeah.
There's nothing anymore. And I'm not saying it is this or it isn't this, but there's never any just, hey, things got f***ed up. It was nobody's fault, and we got a ship lodged like this. Nobody planned on this happening.
Number one, I can't imagine that in something like this, like taking the Suez Canal, I can't imagine they let the rookie drive.
Yeah.
By the same token, this thing's been in operation for a long time, and this is the first time somebody's managed to screw up and stick one like this. So I have to think that there was a major malfunction on board this ship.
I watched some cruise ship captain, and he was talking about how he goes. One of the problems with it is the ships are getting so big.
They're actually longer now than the canal is wide.
It's that, but they're also manning these ships as if it was 20 years ago. To where they don't have enough people on board to do it because they're not regulated to do it. But I don't know enough about it to throw stones. So I just know that if I'm armchair quartering back this,
right,
part of me think, how can they not have this thing loose yet?
Because it weighs a lot, and at 13 knots, that much momentum. I mean, this thing. The from what I understand, the canal sides are obviously not a straight line. They bees like this. So I mean, that thing rammed itself into the side of the bank. So not only are you stuck in the bank, you're stuck down on this curve, and the prow of the ship's lodged there, and then the current, jammed the ass in as well. So you have to dig it out and twist it, and to get it back to float.
Okay, it's more along the lines of, wow, you had one excavator on the job here.
Right.
At one point,
right.
It's that. It's like, if it's costing this much money for people,
right.
I would think
400 million euros or something like that a day. So now...
It's like $400 million a day.
So 6 times that, we're like 2.4 billion euros at this point.
To me, I could have
brought out a couple of more Tracos for that. Yeah.
I was wondering why, like, okay, you put tugs on both sides, and instead of just pulling one way, you pull the ass the other way, and then you put a couple tugs on the other side to push as well. To me, it seems like that should work, but I don't know. Trust me, I don't know about ships.
Right. We're not maritime shipping experts. This
is totally me being an armchair quarterback on this. I'm going to be real honest with you.
Right.
But it seems like it would work. But I guess part of the problem is they don't want to tear the ship in half, which I get, because then you have a bigger damn problem.
Right. Because it's still got to float out, when they get it done here. You'd have thought, Dale Gribble could have got this thing loose with a can of WD-40 by now. I'll be real honest with you. I don't know what the problem is.
That was the other one I saw. Dads everyone are just like, hit it with WD-40, it'll be fine.
Right. Right.
But no.
I had shared on our company Facebook page one of, a quote from a guy talking about, hey, you talk about unskilled labor. 10% of the world's shipping right now is dependent on how fast one guy can move dirt with an excavator. Yeah. Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's about time some of these guys get their due.
Absolutely. I mean, that is an art form. It really is. Moving any of those heavy machines. I've watched, my buddies, you and everybody else do that. That's an art form. You have to know what you're doing to do it. So, but it just goes back to, if it's costing us this much money, I feel like there'd be a little bit more activity around it. Whatever they showed, it looks like it's just the ship just there. I want to see at least one foreman in the background losing his throwing a clipboard or something. Like making a big deal out of it,
I think different parts of the world react to that, differently. I think if that was, happening somewhere in North America, there'd be a fat Italian guy out there, barking orders. If it was somewhere in Europe, you'd have like 47 Germans standing around, with clip ties and clipboards and ties trying to figure out the math. And I have no idea what happens over in the Middle East.
I don't even see one guy having a smoke looking at it thinking, man, or what did we do?
Right.
I just feel like as big of a deal, everybody else is looking at this like, okay.
Right now they're trying to do it with tugboats. Why don't we bring in another container ship, line it with, heavy duty mats or, those little buoy things that they stick on the side of the dock to keep the boats from rubbing, and nudge it a little bit. Come on, give it the old college try.
I mean, at this point, are we waiting to fly in Wile E. Coyote to help or what?
Right.
Put a
Strap
rocket
couple
on it.
Acme
It'll be
rockets.
fine.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm honestly surprised that so far that Elon Musk hasn't been on Twitter saying, let me mount a couple of Dragon rockets on that and we'll spin it like this.
Can you imagine?
That'd be awesome.
I mean, you just. I mean, what's the fucked up way we can get this ship out of the canal? Let's do that.
Right. So Elon flies over there in like a big cargo plane. They bolt a couple of Dragon rockets to the thing. They snap it sideways. Then all of a sudden he lights the one on the back and it's going through there like 130 knots.
No. He's got to light it with a cigarette.
Right. We call this Starship 12.
Oh, it's just humming along, skipping on the water like a speedboat.
Like three guys are out, in Teslas, skiing behind it.
Really, though, shouldn't there be at least one foreman in the background just losing his shit?
I think so.
Like
I absolutely think
like
so.
he needs to be taking his hard hat and throwing it at the ship.
You get like one of the prime ministers on the. We're making every effort to, however they talk. They were making every effort to get this out safely and calmly, and that dude just like kicking the air and throwing his hat.
No, they got to be having like a. You see when managers and umpires fight, where they start kicking dirt at each other and shit. It's got to be a fight like that, and like he grabs like his clipboard and throws it in the water.
We're too far away to hear what he's saying, but let me see if I can figure this out. I'll read the lips. He wants to take the ship to Fuddruckers.
All I know is earlier today they got on and they're like, we moved it 30 yards. Awesome.
How long's the rest of the canal?
How far do we got to go? 3 miles. Perfect.
Right.
Oh, God. This is 151 The Show. You can find us online at 151theshow.com or thisstation'swebsite.com. Did we cover the canal enough?
I think so. Now, what I did hear as they were talking about this, there's actually like plans in place. They're working on making this 2-lane so that they can go in both directions at once. Anybody want to bet if that gets fast-tracked or not after this?
Well, shit, what's fast-tracked? They can't get the one boat out of the canal. We're chugging right along here.
Right. They can't dig fast enough to get this one loose. How quick are they going to go putting in a second lane?
Oh, God. Anyways, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and TikTok, all at 151 The Show. Please like, follow, share, subscribe, do all that cool stuff on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube. Got to mention that one and all these other channels. What do you want to jump to? You want to jump over to TV, or do you want to do the Snyder Cut real quick?
Let's do the Snyder Cut.
Get it out of the way?
Yeah.
All right. You have not seen it, correct?
I have not had 4 hours to dedicate to a movie that I've already seen, unfortunately.
All right. So I did watch it. I watched it on the Thursday it actually came out. And I watch it in chunks. Like I watched like an hour of it earlier in the day, and then I watched like an hour later, and then at before I went to bed, I just watched the last 2 hours. I will tell you this. Go ahead.
They said that originally they had talked like his plan was to release it in 4 1-hour chunks.
Well, I also saw a thing that he wanted to
episodically.
That he wanted to do a 2-hour cut of it, and they were like, "No, put it all out. If we're gonna do it, let's do it." So.
Just because you shot it doesn't mean it's good, Zach.
That might be kind of the problem. Anyways, so I will look you in the eye right now and tell you it is a better movie.
Oh, I have no doubt about that.
It really
but
is.
I have a question. It's a better movie. Is it a good movie?
No. It's no better than I've seen all these people talking about how epic of a movie this is and talking about, it's so great. It makes the Snyderverse, bring back the Snyderverse. And it was only okay. Like, it is the Lord of the Rings of superhero movies for all the walking in it.
Is it exposition? Is it stuff that actually, is it depth and backstory? Or is it just like 40 minutes of slow-mo?
It's like Lois Lane walking around being sad. Okay? It's it's a lot of walking around. It's a lot of, hey, I'm going to Aquaman's going to walk away cool and I'm going to play some song behind it or something type stuff.
Okay.
If I was to guess when Josh Whedon did cut this, because they did have a lot more story about Cyborg and Flash and some of that kind of stuff, I kind of feel like the Josh Whedon version was, hey, let's focus on the three main characters of the Justice League.
Right.
And that's why that stuff got clipped out.
I mean, there have been the actor that played Cyborg obviously leveled some pretty serious accusations against Joss Whedon. And if a tenth of them are true, it would make a lot of sense why his story would cut. And hopefully, if his story was cut, it was because of the accusations, and the accusations didn't come out of the story being cut. But that's not for you and I to make any judgment call on.
It's one of those situations. If it's true, Josh Whedon's I mean, that's what it kind of comes down to.
Oh, yeah.
You know, first rate.
And there's enough stuff that's come out since then by various people that have worked with him at various points in his career. It legitimately sounds like Joss Whedon is a complete but that's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, did Zack Snyder make a better movie?
It's a better. See, that's the thing. Like, to me, it's no better than Man of Steel or Batman vs Superman, where it's watchable. Okay. But am I going to sit here and tell you I think it's a great movie? No, I'm not. It's
a fairly low bar that it achieved. But it was a fairly low bar to be better than what we had before.
I think it's one of those things where if this would have came out, it would have got the same treatment as Batman vs Superman, where people would legitimately like it. But because they've got something to compare it to, they're going to say, "Oh, this is so much epically better." I think that's what a big part of this is. So it kind of drives me nuts because they've got people that are like, "Oh, this is the best whatever." I'm like, "No, it's not." At least not to me. I mean, I should say that. It's not, to me, it's not the best.
So we'll go back to, I guess, something that I felt in Batman and Superman and Man of Steel as well. I don't need to touch on what you said. I don't need to see Lois Lane walk around sad for 15 minutes. Superman died. Lois Lane is going to be sad, and I'm smart enough to figure that one out.
You know what's weird? The Mike Reyes, who joins us every once in a while, he said he watched the director's cut of Batman vs Superman is much better than the first one, and I watched it the other night.
Agreed. That was the first one that I saw.
I legitimately don't know what the differences are in it.
There's about 15 or 17 minutes, I think. And there's 3 or 4 scenes of dialogue that if you don't have them, there's a couple scenes where you go, what did I miss there? Even though you didn't miss anything. Yeah. But once you have them, see, like I watched the director's cut first, and then I had the same question when I saw the other one. I'm like, what the hell was the difference? Yeah. Because I had that information already. So it wasn't like, it didn't click that I was missing anything.
I will say this, there are parts of the Whedon version that I liked better. I liked the way he did the when Superman comes back to life. I liked his version of it better. Like in the Snyder version, the "Do you bleed" line isn't in there.
Okay.
And I thought that was a great callback to the other movie of showing how just pissed off Superman is at this point. But listen, the Justice League is about Superman, Batman. Those are the top 2.
Right.
We get a melancholy Batman for most of this movie, where he's like, "Oh, faith, Alfred, and believe, and do all this other bull." That Batman doesn't do, and Superman isn't in it till the end. And he chose the black costume. Wow.
For me, Justice League has always been about the gathering of your top DC superheroes underneath. Yes, the Holy Trinity: Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Those are the triangle, the pinnacle, the Triforce, if you will. Batman's brooding and kind of a dick. Yeah. Superman's a Boy Scout. And Wonder Woman is kind of the glue that holds everything together. If you deviate very much from that, you don't have that pyramid. You don't have anything compelling.
And going back to like the Cyborg and Flash parts of the story, be perfectly honest with you, I don't give a about their backstory. I mean, I'm here to see Superman
Barry
and
Allen,
Batman.
Right. Barry Allen got hit by lightning and some weird chemicals. It made him fast. Cyborg is literally a cyborg.
And that's not
He's like
to say
me at night with my CPAP and my pump.
and it's not to say that they don't have an important story to tell. It's just like when you think about the Justice League, I don't usually they're like the Flash more so.
Right.
You know, comes up a little bit more. Like to me, Cyborg's a Teen Titan.
Yes, I agree. Cyborg is a Teen Titan. Without a Green Lantern, you don't really have a Justice League.
Yeah.
I completely, and Cyborg's a Teen Titan. You cannot get around that. I completely agree.
Not once did he say booyah.
Which is just a damn shame.
It is. I think so. But anyways, to wrap this up.
Did he challenge anybody to a dance-off?
No, not one person.
Bull. I will give, before we wrap up, I will give Joss Whedon credit for one thing, even if he is a human being by all accounts. The dude actually knows that no matter what it is, if you're doing a comedy and the comedy is like at this level without any peaks or valleys, it will get stale.
Yeah.
You can only laugh. You can only find things funny for so long. The same thing with drama. You can only have this tension at this level for so long before it becomes monotonous. I will give credit for Joss Whedon for occasionally introducing a piece of comedy or a natural break into things to either highlight, punctuate, or come out of nowhere with the tension.
A couple of my final thoughts on this real quick. I do want to get this out. Everybody was talking about how much of a better story Steppenwolf is in this one.
Right.
His armor has more personality than he does. That thing is just like moving all over the place and making weird noises and like it's like, what are we doing here? Did you hear who the cameo was in it?
Martian Manhunter?
Yes. Okay, so that part, the 2 times he's in the movie, feel absolutely forced. Like, hey, we need to put Martian Manhunter in the movie somewhere. Well, it doesn't make sense. Put him in the movie.
Did they do a better job in Smallville introducing him than they did in?
I never watched Smallville.
In this? Oh, okay.
That I want to watch that new Superman and Lois show, but I haven't watched it yet.
They have kids.
Yeah, I hear one. I've watched like little clips of it, but not enough to. Anyways,
right.
So, anyways, listen, if you like the Snyder Cut, awesome. That's great. But I can't legitimately sit here and tell you that I thought it was great. So,
but at the end of the day, we like people finding things that make them happy, even if we don't like them. So if you enjoyed the Snyder Cut, good on you, weirdo.
I was trying to figure out what to say after that. I need not say anything. This is 151 The Show. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, all at 151 The Show. We're on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and a whole bunch of other channels. Please like, follow, share, and subscribe. If you miss any of that, head to 151theshow.com or this station's website.com.
If you haven't figured out by now that when I'm being incredibly sincere or it seems like I'm going to do something really sappy, that there's not a cheap shot coming quickly thereafter, dude. It's going to happen every time.
Yeah. So as we kind of get toward what else, I don't want to dive too far into Falcon and Winter Soldier just yet.
Well, we can't. There's only 2 episodes.
I feel like I'm watching a Marvel movie that's just been cut up into episodes. I will say that. I like that. WandaVision seemed very episodic. This feels like that, just the way it's shot, just the way the story's being told, that it's a Marvel movie.
Right. It literally is in between, like you're watching the sections of Captain America when they would move from, scene to scene, place to place, and you get the Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
We're going to be here. Okay. End of episode. But that in the movie is where they would have gone to Brussels, whatever. Very much. Yeah, it's being shot like a movie, and I love it.
The only thing I will say about it is, God, do I hate John Walker.
For just like a second, when he's like, when he says, I'm not trying to be Steve Rogers. I'm just trying to be the best Captain America that I can be. I'm like, oh, hey, maybe they're going differently than I thought they were going to go here. And then when they're like, dude, no, we're not signing on with your. And he's like, get the hell out of my way. I'm like, oh no, no, you didn't. You did not talk to Sam and Bucky like that. I was pissed.
All I want is the Winter Soldier to grab him by the throat and not let go.
Right? I got a vibranium arm, mother. Come on.
Like I kind of want him to turn him into a puppet with that vibranium arm, like up and everything.
Yes. You're really gonna vibe on Cap and Sam like that by literally giving the new Captain America a sidekick? Come on.
Yeah, I need Captain America. I need Steve's wingman to help me out, man. You.
Now, I guess the one thing that I will say is if Steve didn't immediately have a coronary after he handed him that shield, or hop back through a portal somewhere with some stones, if Steve is still sitting in a retirement community in Boca Raton, when Sam showed up, on the TV handing that shield over, why the hell didn't Steve call, hey, you're an idiot, go get it back?
Or immediately have the Hulk send time through him to de-age him. I will say this, because it's only 6 episodes, right?
I think we're a third of the way through it already, yeah. And then we jump to Loki.
I'm going to be very disappointed if there's not a very large reveal at the end of this.
What kind of reveal?
Well, we had talked about, and maybe it's the fault of the audience watching WandaVision with all the theories and, they're going to do
too
this.
Much expectation, right?
I want there to be some kind of big holy moment at the end of this, because I don't think WandaVision had that at the end of it.
No, it really didn't. WandaVision was actually, spoiler alert, WandaVision was actually a very small, intimate story about one woman who just happens to be able to bend reality and chaos around her and rewrite reality, dealing with grief. That's all. It was a very much a grief story, and her reaction. That's literally as complicated as it ever was.
And I don't want it to seem like I'm bagging on it, because it was good. Don't get me wrong. It was good. It was well done. It was fun. But I wanted that big reveal. I wanted to see another mutant. Evan Peters wasn't a big enough part of that to me.
No, it was a throwaway. It was a total red herring, and God bless him for doing it. But the timing, after a year and a half without any Marvel content because of Corona, yes, everybody took it way too far, way too quickly. It was spun out. Paul Bettany out of the whole thing, making himself the cameo and totally trolling everybody, I thought was the funniest thing. But he was having some oh crap moments, I know, later on for what he did. Yes, you're exactly right. I would like to see. I mean, I think at the end of it, what you're going to see is, Sam Wilson step out as the new Captain America. But you're right. I would like to get a holy we never saw that coming episode or a moment in somewhere.
And I don't really care what it is. I just want that moment at the end of it.
Right.
I wanted to set up, because Wanda really didn't it kind of made me excited for a little bit more excited for, Doctor Strange 2 and all that. But I want to be like, oh my God, I cannot wait for, next Marvel movie, or, when this is going to play out. So anyways, the other thing was Sebastian Stan. Did you see the thing, the quote he had this week?
When Mark Hamill himself says it's okay to play Luke Skywalker, he will do it. Up until then, he won't believe it, which is total bull. Because that dude has been all over previously saying that he would be honored to do it. The way he's now responding to that makes me think that somebody at Lucasfilm has made the phone call and he's now dodging it.
All I want is him to be a young Luke Skywalker.
I think that we are looking at some point here, if not a series featuring some cameos from Sebastian Stan as Luke Skywalker throughout all of these stuff that's going to happen. I will bet you a $20 bill. I'll bet you a steak dinner that it happens, my friend.
All right, I can handle that. No, I just I like him in that role. I've always wanted to see, like, you've had the books, whatever they're calling the old Lucas verse.
Oh yeah, the
expanded universe or Legends.
Yeah,
or
whatever
it's called.
Legends, Star Wars Legends now or something like that.
I want to see a horribly powerful Luke Skywalker.
Right.
That's what I want to see.
I want to see a Sebastian Stan as an incredibly in his prime Luke Skywalker romancing Karen Gillan as Mara Jade.
And mood lighting by lightsaber.
Oh yeah.
That's I really do though. I want to see that, and yeah, I think we deserve that.
Assuming now, George Lucas always told Carrie Fisher that there was no underwear in space, but assuming that Mara is wearing, more traditional, do you think Luke Skywalker ever used the Force to unhook that bra strap? I think he did.
Boy, if it's complicated enough doing it with your hands, imagine doing it with just your mind. He just has an aneurysm and falls dead.
He can force project himself halfway across the galaxy, but one bra strap was too much.
This is 151 The Show. You can find us online at 151theshow.com or this station's website.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, which that's probably going to be a TikTok clip coming up. What else was I going to say? Oh, Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify. Go to 151theshow.com or the station's website.com. Like, follow, share, subscribe. That would really help us out. As we kind of wrap things up tonight, do you want to dive into Resident Alien real quick, or do you want to wait?
Let's wait until we're 9 episodes in. Let's let the season 1 wrap up. They did get a season 2 pickup.
They did. I want to say one thing that I didn't realize the other night until I read it. I didn't realize the octopus was Nathan Fillion.
I heard that immediately and went, that son of a bitch, that's Nathan.
That's awesome.
Imagine having the juice to just be like, hey, we need somebody for this. Beep, beep, beep. Hey, Nathan, you want to do a voice from home? All right, awesome, great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But what are they going to do another something together?
I like those two, and they're friends in real life.
I know I know how we've got to wrap up the show tonight if we're not going to talk about that. Okay. All right, if we were going to make a Nathan Fillion and Alan, how do you say his last name? Tudyk movie, what kind of movie would you make if you were going to cast them right now? I have mine in my head, but I want to hear yours first.
Buddy Cop, I mean, is the go-to.
Yes, that was the one I wanted to do, but I won't.
Right. Do you remember the movie with Tom Hardy and Chris Pine where they're like both in the CIA and dating the same woman? Yeah, it's War. This means war or something, yeah.
That's an awesome. I actually really like that movie.
That's number one. That's a great movie, and it's very, very underrated. Number two, I want to see them in something like that, where they're absolutely friends and just being as humanly possible to each other for some reason. That's what I want to see.
All right, this is what I would put them in as. Nathan Fillion's a spy.
Okay.
Alan is his Q.
Nice.
And they have to go, like, they actually go out and do stuff, but Alan's the tech guy. Nathan is kind of the, suave guy that.
Right. Alan's the guy in the van.
Oh, what if you but put a Naked Gun spin on it.
Right.
Or no, not Naked Gun, True Lies.
Just absolutely just bat funny comedy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Tom Arnold could be the chief.
Hollywood, listen to this stuff.
I really like that idea.
I do too.
Like Arnold Schwarzenegger's retired. Maybe he's like their coach or something.
Right?
I don't know.
Put Schwarzenegger in head of the department. Yep, absolutely.
No, I think you need Tom Arnold as the head of the department.
I hate that guy though.
Why do you hate Tom Arnold?
I hate that guy.
What kind of a sick steals the ice cubes out of the freezer? He has so many good lines in that movie.
Look, right, and look, he's like Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's done some stuff that I very much enjoy. Liar, Liar, The Mask. I mean, Jim Carrey's got a lot of, but for some reason, I don't know what it is. Besides him, he's a great actor, but as a human being, I hate that guy, and I don't know why. Both him and Tom Arnold. So I can't cast Tom Arnold. I hate that guy.
Tom Arnold's an Iowa Hawkeye fan, so
I don't care. I hate that guy. Taking a stand here on this episode of 151. Jim Carrey, Tom Arnold, don't care for him.
Wow. All right. And with that, this is 151 The Show. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at 151 The Show. Don't forget to follow along on TikTok as well. Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, Google Play. Like I say every time I do this, there's a million channels we're on.
Wherever the cool kids are hanging out and Jim Carrey isn't, we're there.
Oh, Jesus, let it go. All right, we can't end without a shameless plug.
Cue the music.
To be a reverse shameless plug to say don't like this person, I guess. I actually kind of have, I thought of one in the middle of it. In the middle of the show. I was going to do one shameless plug, and then it kind of switched. So real quick, I just want to throw out there, if you don't have a outside propane, like stove burner, get one.
Okay.
We broke ours out for the first time this year last weekend, and then we broke it out tonight to do hibachi stuff. Awesome. And all it is a propane tank that you put on a stove burner. And then you fry. Okay. That's the long and short of that. Okay.
Okay. Like a griddle or like the individual burner.
No, it's just a burner. It just you hook it up, light it, and it just shoots fire out.
Nice.
Think of what moonshiners use.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is. But God, is it awesome? So, anyways, I want to shamelessly plug something, but I don't have them. So this is the part where I'm going to put an @ on Twitter. I want to shamelessly plug in the future Hey Dude shoes.
Hey Dude.
Have you ever tried these?
I have not. They seem far more popular than I would give them credit for. And I'm a huge fan. Look, I own 3 pairs of slip-on shoes. I'm a huge fan. These seem right up my alley, and until you started talking about them, I'd never heard of them.
So I don't know what it was, but I saw them the other day, and on Facebook I wrote, I basically just asked people, I'm like, hey, do you have Hey Dude shoes? And if so, do you like them? I got like 30 or 40 comments of people that absolutely love their Hey Dude shoes. And me, I don't buy shoes an awful lot. Right. Like I wear a pair of shoes until they're dead. Okay. I mean, you should have seen my old sandals I had falling apart, and I would glue them back together. I mean, if you look at my sweatshirt, this is how long I keep things. It's falling apart there. It's falling apart there.
Did you steal that from a hobo on your way into the show?
What's funny, I do call it my hobo sweatshirt. I've got that and my hobo sweatpants on tonight. Which, if you're looking at that camera, you can probably see them a little bit. But
I was gonna say, I hope we can't see anything falling out like we can.
No, but
out of your sweatshirt.
These the hobo sweatpants. I've got 2 pairs of hobo sweatpants, and I've legitimately re-sewn the side of them because they've split so far up. Like they're at one point, one of the pairs, the split was all the way up to my knee, so I had to re-sew them. But anyways, no, get back to Hey Dude shoes. I would just like to try them, and if there's any possible way that somebody at Hey Dude is looking at this and thinking, you know what? Let's send those guys some Hey Dude shoes. I will absolutely try them out and see what happens. Yes, I'm begging for shoes right now. Okay?
And again, I will throw it out there that again, I've owned a lot of slip-on shoes in my life. So if you're looking for an expert, try them out. I'm over here. I'll give them a shirt. I'll give them a whirl too.
Man, I want to be big time, just one time in my life.
Hey, dude, if you send us a pair of shoes, we will do the greatest review and unboxing video that you have ever seen.
Absolutely. So, all right, friends, with that, that's going to do it for us tonight. Please like, follow, share, and subscribe. Hey, dude, we love you, or I want to love you. I want to.
Let us love you. Hey, dude. Hey, dude, let us love you.
There you go. All right, everybody, have a great rest of the night.
Bye-bye.